Hello and welcome to another ship review. Today we will talk about prop fleet, and I think this is a ship that has the most potential in the current meta. You can watch my video about the best frigates for 2026, and the prop fleet is my number one for this list. We will talk about reasons why, but basically it's extremely underused and it's quite good in itself and it counteracts the current meta very well. So effectively this is what Vigil Fleet used to be around 2017, 2018, 2019 maybe. So I expect Prop Fleet to become more and more popular over time as people figure out this ship more and more. But for now, you can be an early bird and use it while people do not know about this ship. So as you can see, really underused, essentially one of our least used frigates. And Heron Navy is actually quite similar to Prop Fleet. I think Heron Navy is a bit worse for the kiting stuff, but a bit better at scrum kiting and brawling feats. You will see what I mean when we will talk about the feats. But the win rate is very high, and I can tell you that it's 60%, while the vast majority of fights are not in the well-optimized feats. So I think that once the big boys start grinding solo PvP in properly min-maxed feats, this will go up to 70% at least, and probably even higher. Okay, so this is missile frigate. It has bonuses to light missile and rocket damage, and you can use it both as a scrum kiter and as a kiter. Both feats are good. My general recommendation, but specifically because of a current meta, would be the kiting feat. Because with a kiting feat you can very comfortably fight against Navy destroyers. And Navy destroyers will represent a bulk of your engagement profile. We can more or less ignore Tick 1 frigates and Tick 1 destroyers because you will kill them no matter what in any feat. And when, if you look at the remaining ship groups, ship classes, when it's either Navy frigates or Navy destroyers. A rocket prop fleet is not that great against Navy destroyers. It's a bit better against Navy frigates, I would say, but it's definitely worse against destroyers, so it's up to you which portion of your engagement profile you want to target. The overall impression that you can fight pretty much anything, again depending on the feat, but practically any ship in frigate and destroyer category will be within your engagement profile. You will have an easier time against destroyers in light missile feat, and you will have a slightly easier time against assault frigates and Navy frigates in a rocket feat. So let's look at these feats next. Okay, so I will show you one feat for the kiting archetype and one feat for the scrum kiting archetype. There are, as usual, some variations possible. Since this ship is so underused, I don't think this is like completely optimized. I think there are some bits and pieces that you can improve, but at least you will get a general idea. So for the light missile, the idea is pretty straightforward. Obviously, light missiles, prop mod, tackle, and then you need tracking disruptor. The idea is if you want to fight against long range destroyers, then you need a tracking disruptor to mitigate. So this is like a very common combination in the current meta. Condors will use it, breachers will use it, probe fleets, even kiting hook builds will go with a tracking disruptor. Many kiting assault frigates like Ishkor or Hawk will be with tracking disruptor as well because you need to mitigate. This is very common. And when medium and shield booster, this is your main tank. You can also make this fit with medium shield extender to make it a bit easier on yourself for micromanagement. But the issue is the total hit points after all the charges in medium and shield booster is higher in this fit. This is the first advantage. And the second advantage is that your signature radius is much lower with MASB compared to MSC. And again, it helps with mitigation. So I think MASB is a better choice. Low slots, again, pretty straightforward. The biggest advantage, the biggest feature of these Navy exploration frigates is that they have a ton of CPU. And this is one of a very few, I think it's actually like the only ship frigate class that can fit double BCS with some tank. If you want double BCS on a Garmor, you essentially have to give up a tank, or you have to go with a single BCS. But these ships can't fit double BCS without any fitting modules, because they have so much CPU. And since you can't fit double BCS, your DPS is actually quite respectable. 134 is quite high for a missile kiting fit. I think Garmors go up to about 150, 160. Hawks will also go to about 160. So this is very respectable for its price. You will kill destroyers quite quickly with this fit. Against frigates as usual. The problem with light missile fits is that you struggle a bit with mitigation, so it takes more time with application. And rig slots pretty straightforward. Again, you can play around and fit a bit more tank or a bit more speed. I feel like you need a cap rig because otherwise the cap management will be just horrendously taxing. 1 minute I think is not quite enough, but 240 is sufficient. But you can play around with rigs. I think that this is a good balance between speed tank and the cap. Okay, so now the rocket fit. The main feature of the rocket prop fleet and also the rocket navy Heron is that you can use your double utility. This is another unique feature of these navy exploration frigates, is that they have double utility slots, at least for prop fleet and Heron navy. And then you can fit double newt. And with double newt, it opens up a lot of possibilities, since you can cap out most of your opponents in about 4 cycles, I would say. Yeah, it's 3 cycles for triple newt, so it's about 4 to 5 cycles for double newt. It's usually fast enough to tank the incoming damage. It's not fast enough against destroyers, because there is a good chance that the destroyer will just kill you before they run out of cap, since they have higher cap pool and higher DPS. So this is why the rocket prop fleet is not as good as light missile prop fleet against destroyers. But it's quite good against calm range frigates, especially cap dependent frigates. So you can get some very interesting kill mails, especially like against assault frigates, for example. So the idea is you try to stay at around like 4 kilometers to use your newts effectively. You newt out your opponent. After that, you can shut down one of the newts. You cannot run them constantly, but once you shut down one, it's perfectly fine. And after that, your mitigation will be usually sufficient to win the DPS race, since your opponent will not likely have an afterburner, or they will not be able to run webs. Some of them will not be able to even shoot, so it works fine. And the DPS is very high. 250 for a rocket scrum kiter is a lot. And you generally can use rage, even though you have only one web, because once you newt out the afterburner, the application will be sufficient for full damage. The rest is quite straightforward. AB scrum web and your main tank, when DC plus again double BCS, which allows you to have this much damage, and the rig slots are normal. So this is for damage, additional damage module, and this is for resist to complement MASB. Again, you can play around a little bit with rigs. You can fit a bit more tank and drop a DPS rig. Or you can maybe fit it for a bit more control, like one polycarbon, for example. But generally, I think this is the most flexible way, so to say. So I mentioned in the beginning that Heron Navy also works. So if it's, I will have a separate video at some point for Heron Navy, but basically it has exactly the same idea. It has light missile fit and it has a rocket fit with double newts. And the rocket fit with double newts is a bit better because I think you have an extra slot, an extra medium slot. And the light missile fit is a bit worse because it's a bit slower. And the slot layout does not work as well as on prop fleet. But you can try out this ship as well. I think they're both extremely strong in the current meta. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next ship reviews.